All right, that was my 2 packs of hot dogs that I'm gonna pour into my 9 by 13 dish. And you just cut those up into small pieces. We gotta make sure they're all cut all the way through. Now I'm coming in with my 40 ounces of chili. I am using chili with beans, but you can use chili with no beans. It's honestly a preference thing. And we're dumping this whole can, the whole 40 ounces of chili right on top of those delicious hot dogs. This is a super easy, super yummy, all-in-one dinner. It's so quick, it's so convenient, great for a summer barbecue when you don't want to stand in the heat, but you still want those barbecue flavors. All right, now I'm gonna come in with 1 diced yellow onion, and we're gonna pour that whole thing right on top of our chili with our hot dogs. Yummy. Now, if you don't like onion, you can skip this, but it's necessary for me. Now I'm gonna bring in my ketchup, and we're gonna add a generous amount of ketchup to this. Just a nice little drizzle should be perfect. Oh my goodness, this is just gonna add a nice little tang to this easy dinner. And speaking of tang, we have our Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, whatever you call it, and we're gonna add a little bit of that to our dish. And this is all in our 13 by 9. I did not grease this, but I probably should have, so make sure to grease yours. Do what I say, not what I do. Now for seasoning, we're gonna keep it super simple. I have my Kinder's The Blend, which is salt, pepper, and garlic, everything you need all in one. And we are gonna season this generously. This is such a great dinner, so perfect for our family when you just want a super easy dish. My husband loves this, my dad loves this. It is a crowd pleaser. Now this is also optional, but I love it. I want a little bit of heat, so I'm adding some red pepper crushed, and we're gonna just sprinkle that in. I know that a lot of kids don't like that much heat, so you can skip this if that is the case. All right, beautiful. Now, before we move on to the next step, I'm gonna bring back in our large spatula, and it is time to blend everything together. The hot dogs, the chili, the onions, the ketchup, the Worcestershire sauce, all of that delicious seasoning. Those hot dogs look so good, and you can make those hot dogs bite size or bigger or smaller, whatever you like. I think this is the perfect size for inside our chili, but look how decadent that looks.
Yum, smells so good.
So good, perfect. All right, now I'm bringing in the cheese. And we have 8 ounces of cheddar that we're starting with, and we're gonna move our pan right underneath our cheese grater, and it is time to grate our cheese right into our pan. Now I'm starting off with a sharp cheddar, but we have something else we're gonna add as well. And we're gonna make sure this all comes out and right onto our pan. Oh my goodness, it looks so delicious. Let's get this nice and grated. All right, we got that cheddar perfectly grated. We're just gonna make sure that it is evenly spread out on top of our hot dog casserole. Yummy. All right, we can move this out of the way now. And then our last, but certainly not least, we have some tater tots. So you don't need a bun with this casserole. We have our potato carbs right on top, and we are gonna line these perfectly on top of that cheese. And these are gonna get nice and crispy. The cheese is gonna get nice and melty. Everything underneath is gonna get nice and bubbly. And then we're gonna have the most delicious dinner, lunch you've ever had. Placing those last few tater tots and sneak one extra one in there because I can. Beautiful. All right, this is ready for the oven. My oven is set to 400 and it's gonna be in there for 40 minutes. Oh my, it's bubbly, it's melted, it's crispy, it looks incredible. It's time to dig in. Oh. Oh, she's messy.
We can hear the sizzle.
Ooh. All right, there we go. I did the best I could. That looks so good though. I mean, what's not to love? Hot dogs, chili, onions, tater tots. It's like chili tots, right?
Chili cheese tots. Is it good?
That is So good. You guys are gonna love it. 2 bags of our frozen carrots in our 9x13. Perfect. We're gonna season this up really quick with some garlic powder. Beautiful. And then just a little bit of black pepper. Oh yeah, such an easy all-in-one pan dinner. Now I have my chicken breast that I butterflied that we're gonna put right on top of our carrots, and I made sure to butterfly all of my breasts. And we have 4 large breasts here that are all cut. Perfect. All right, I washed my hands, and now we're gonna quickly season up our chicken. Make sure to flip it over and season it on both sides. We're starting off with our Italian seasoning, and then of course a little bit of salt, but you can season this however you like. I just think these flavors are gonna go very well with everything else we got going on. Of course, I have my peppers still here, so I might as well add that to our chicken, and then some garlic powder. All right, that looks like it is seasoned enough. Now I fixed up my stovetop chicken stuffing, and it's already all ready to go. And I have my spoon, and we're gonna scoop our stuffing right into our chicken where we butterflied it. And we're gonna give this a good stuffing. It's better than even stuffing your turkey. Just make sure to add a generous amount. We have that whole box of stuffing for our 4 chicken breasts, so there's no point in skimping out. All right, and you can use whatever stuffing you want. You can use, you know, the cornbread stuffing, turkey stuffing, but I just thought chicken was the most appropriate since we're stuffing chicken. All right, these breasts are stuffed, and now I'm gonna come in with some diced apples that I peeled, and we're just gonna go ahead and add this to our chicken. It's gonna add some beautiful moisture, some nice sweetness, some great fall flavors. We have those carrots, we have our chicken, our stuffing, and now these beautiful apples. I am just using a Granny Smith apple, but you can use whatever apple you prefer. Just make sure you get those peels off because you don't want anything extra chewy in your chicken. All right, so we're getting a good amount of those apples in there, and it's just gonna add some incredible moisture. Beautiful. Not done yet. I have a 1.5 sticks of melted butter here, and I'm gonna add some honey to our butter. Just a generous amount, maybe about 2 tablespoons of honey, because you want it to be like a honey butter. Just kind of get that right in there. And then I have my whisk so that we can whisk that into our butter oh so beautifully. Just kind of give it a quick little whisk until you feel like it is well combined. And once that's well combined, we're gonna drizzle it on our chicken and our carrots. Oh yeah, this is really just going to bring it to the next level. Put it on that stuffing, on those apples, get it all Ooh, I cannot wait to get this cooking. All right,
delicious.
right? My oven is set to 375, and this is gonna be in there for about 1 hour. Oh my, it smells like Thanksgiving in here. This looks so good, such a cozy and delicious meal. Okay, we did temp our chicken, and it temped at 165, which is exactly what we need it to be at. We're gonna grab our spatula and get our chicken. Maybe I have to go from the side, I think. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yes. Looks so good. I'm gonna grab some of those carrots. Truth. Let's cut into this baby. Oh, it's so tender.
Perfectly cooked.
Oh yeah, that is a beautiful chicken. So juicy, so flavorful. Let's give it a try. Just gonna start with a small piece because it's really hot.
Is it good?
Oh my goodness. The sweetness from the honey and the apple, the juicy tender chicken, that savory stuffing. This is so good. You guys have to try this. Those were our burrito tortillas and our 2 cans, family size, of cream of chicken. Come in with a spatula and get that cream of chicken nice and spread out onto our burritos. This is such an easy lunch or dinner that you can just throw together super fast. Beautiful. I have here 1 rotisserie chicken that I shredded up, and we're gonna put that right there. Yum. I have a bag of frozen peas that we're gonna put right next to our chicken, and we're gonna use half of our peas. You can use the whole if you want. And then I have a bag of frozen corn, and just like with the peas, we're gonna use half of our corn for this super easy and delicious lunch. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for this to all come together. I have frozen carrots, and we are gonna do half a bag of frozen carrots right next to our corn. Yummy. All right, we did a little bit of extra, that's fine. And then we have our frozen green beans, and we are gonna do that right next to our carrots, and we're gonna do half a bag of our green beans. But you can use whatever veggies you like. I'm kind of just using your traditional veggie mix. And then for this last corner, I have some sharp cheddar, and we're gonna add about half of the bag right in there. I'm gonna save the other half for later. Now we're gonna season this up super quick. I have some onion powder, and just like with the veggies, you can season this however you like. I'm just using some traditional seasonings to make this extra delicious. You guys know I have to do garlic powder for this, but we have that cream of chicken, we have our shredded chicken, our peas, our carrots, our corn, our green beans, and that cheddar. Now I'm gonna finish this off with a little bit of salt and pepper, because I feel like all dishes need some salt and pepper. And I'm just gonna make this super quick, super fast. Anyone can make this dish. And finish it off with our salt, and then we're gonna give this a good mix and get all of those delicious flavors well combined. Come back with that spatula we started with, and we're just gonna go ahead and get that cream of chicken mixed in with all of those yummy ingredients. And like I said, we have this all in our burrito size tortillas. I absolutely love making this when I'm feeling lazy, but I want something yummy and kind of cozy to eat. This is great for fall and winter months. It kind of is like a chicken pot pie, but a new twist on it that I think everyone will love. So let's just make sure this gets nice and well combined before we finish it off. All right, this looks perfectly mixed. Now we're gonna go ahead and spread this out. And I did forget to mention, you can use fresh veggies if you prefer, but I like the frozen because as they kind of melt and get cooked up, they add a lot of moisture to this dish, which is what it's gonna need. Okay, that looks beautiful. And we're gonna finish this off with our last burrito tortilla. We used all 8 that come in the pack. We're gonna place that right in the center of our pan. And now it is time to fold in the rest of our tortillas just like so. And you can kind of just do a little handy dandy fold on those corners. It doesn't need to be anything special or unique. We just want to make sure that delicious chicken pot pie mixture is nice and tucked in. Oh my, this is gonna be so delicious. Beautiful. And we want a kind of golden brown tortilla, so we're gonna bring in our melted butter, and we are just gonna kind of drizzle that right on top. I usually would use a brush, but I'm not in my kitchen today, so I do not have my butter brush with me. But you guys can obviously use a butter brush or do like how I'm doing it. A little spatula goes a long way. And remember I said to save the rest of our cheese? It's because it's going right on top to create some crispy bits. Oh my, we're just gonna sprinkle the rest of our sharp cheddar. I don't know about you guys, but I love cheddar with my chicken pot pies. I know it's not traditional, but I am not a traditional person. And obviously this quesadilla chicken pot pie is far from traditional. So you guys let me know, are you team cheese in your chicken pot pie or team no cheese? Let's get all that in there. And let's get this in the oven. My oven is set to 350, and this is gonna be in there for about 30 minutes. Oh my, that cheese smells so delicious. Look at that crispy top it is time to dig in. And I'm just gonna grab my knife and we're gonna cut a slice right out. Check that out. The filling is ooey gooey and delicious. Yum, perfectly cooked. Time to give this a try. Oh my goodness, get a little bit of that tortilla, little filling. All right, that was 2 large red onions that I sliced up. Next, I'm coming in with my pork loin and we're gonna smush that right on top of our onions. I'm gonna bring in my knife and we're gonna do little slits in our pork loin, just like so, doing about 1 inch in between each slit. Make sure you have a super sharp knife so that you can go right through that loin. Perfect. Now I'm gonna bring in my pineapple slices. I'm gonna grab a slice and it's gonna go right in the slit of our pork loin, just like that. It's okay if it's sticking out a little bit. This pineapple is gonna add some great flavor to our pork loin. I absolutely love this super easy all-in-one pan dinner. It's so good, so quick to throw together, and it feeds a huge crowd. Obviously, you could do this with some pork chops if you have a smaller family, but we're doing this for a great little summer party that we're throwing this weekend, and I think everyone is going to love it. So we're making sure that those pineapples are nicely placed in there. Looks so fun with them just sticking out. Everyone knows what they're getting. Beautiful. Now I have here a teriyaki marinade, and we're gonna douse this whole entire bottle right on top of our pork chop. Ooh, those sesame seeds were holding on tight. But look how beautiful that just comes out. And we're covering up that entire pork loin. Oh, it smells so good. This sauce is the best. Now I like to add a little bit of ginger to mine just because it's a great flavor that complements the pineapple. It complements the teriyaki. So I'm kind of just doing like a little dollop of ginger. A little bit goes a long way. And this is a big piece of meat, so we got to make sure that we get that nice and gingery. Now, if you don't like ginger, you can skip that, or you could do some garlic instead. And I'm just using my spatula to kind of spread that out so that it gets all onto that pork loin and it's not just condensed in one spot. And we kind of do that with our sauce too, because it wasn't perfectly distributed, and it's gonna just run down to those onions. So we're gonna have some flavorful onions alongside our loin. All right, last thing we're gonna top this with is the seasoning, the blend, which is salt, pepper, and garlic. My 3 favorites all in one. And we're gonna make sure we season the entire pork loin. Oh my goodness, you can do whatever seasoning you like. You can do an onion powder, garlic powder, just salt and pepper, but I really want this to be flavorful. So, you know, we're really packing it with all of the flavor. But that is it, you guys. So simple, so easy. This is ready for the oven. My oven is set to 350, and this is gonna be in there for about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. I'm gonna temperature it. All right. It's been 2 hours and our pork loin temped at 150. We let it rest for about 5 minutes. And before we cut into this, I'm just gonna garnish this with some chives. All right, on top, just adds some nice freshness and color, which you guys know I love with all of my dishes. Beautiful. All right, moment of truth. I do have a bed of white rice that we are gonna serve this on. Let's go ahead and cut this. We're just gonna cut it right at the slit. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Woo. Look at that. Perfectly cooked pork loin. Oh my goodness. Let's get some of those onions.
That looks delicious. Wow.
I have a spoon so I can spoon some of that teriyaki sauce right on top. Ooh. All right, this is ready to try. I'm just gonna put it right over here. I know I'm a little weird like that. Oh, a try. Yummy. All right, so I just laid my grease 9x13 with my biscuit grands. Now I'm gonna go in and we're gonna smush our biscuits so we have a flat layer of biscuits for this super easy and delicious one pan dinner. Oh my goodness. Now just do the best you can. All right, that's perfect. Now I'm coming in with my cooked ground beef and we're gonna sprinkle that right on top of our biscuits. This is gonna be so easy and so delicious. So I did cook up 3 pounds, but I think we're only gonna use 2.5 because this is already filling up super quick. Now with our ground beef, I'm next gonna add 1 yellow onion that I diced, and we're gonna use that whole thing of diced onions. So easy, so delicious. Just get that all in there. All right, and just spread that from edge to edge. So we got the biscuits, the ground beef, the onions, and next we're gonna season this up with a little bit of hamburger seasoning. Now you can season this however you like. I personally love this hamburger seasoning because it has everything you need all in one. You don't need 10 little bottles to season up this dish. This looks amazing. Beautiful. Now you're gonna wanna add your favorite dressings for burgers, and that is Thousand Island for me. You could do a mayo, a mustard, a ketchup, a relish, but for me, I'm gonna keep it simple with just the Thousand Island, if it will come out. And we want just like a nice little drizzle. This is gonna add some good moisture and some great flavor. Okay, make sure we get those corners. We don't wanna miss those corners. Beautiful. Ooh, those onions are potent. Now the only thing this is missing is some cheese. So I'm doing some sharp cheddar cheese, and we're gonna do a nice little sprinkle of our shredded cheese. You could obviously grate your own cheese. If you don't like the bagged cheese, you could do a American cheese. That would go really well with this. You could do a mild cheddar, whatever you like. That's what you can use. This is completely customizable. I personally love cheddar on all of my burgers, and this is a burger-inspired one-pan dinner, so that's why I chose cheddar. Okay, and I'm gonna bring back that extra can of biscuits because this is gonna be the top of our bun. Beautiful. And these ones are gonna be super easy. We're just going to place them right on top, just like so. We squish down the bottom ones because they're not gonna have as much room to grow like these ones will. So these ones do not need to be smushed. We're gonna quickly cover this up. And we used all 8 biscuits for both the bottom and the top. Now this is just missing one thing, and that is a butter brushed biscuit. Ooh, we're just gonna add a nice touch of butter on each biscuit. This is optional, but I just think it adds a nice flaky, delicious brown color to our biscuit. It adds all the flavor. I mean, and butter makes everything better. Isn't that a saying? I mean, I say it a lot, but I think it's true. Okay, quickly get these covered. Beautiful. All right, and this is ready. My oven is set to 350, and this is gonna be in there for about 30 minutes. All right, we just took this out of the oven. It smells absolutely delicious. It is time to dig in. You can just cut right through it and get your 2 biscuits. There we go, that's probably a better way to grab it. And look at that. Woohoo, this looks so good. Okay, it is time to dig in. Oh, perfect. Oh, wow. It is really, really good. All right, we're starting off with 12 ounces of our frozen broccoli. I have 1 rotisserie chicken that I cut up. I'm gonna put that right on top with our broccoli. This is a super easy one-pan dinner that is so tasty. I have some shredded carrots, and we are gonna measure out about 1 cup of shredded carrots into this. This is so delicious, so easy. You can even do this with whatever protein you like. I just love rotisserie chicken. It is my favorite because you can just grab it from the store and go. Now, I am gonna add some sharp cheddar cheese to this, but you can use whatever cheese you like. That is the beauty of this dish. It is customizable, and you could totally mix this in a bowl and then put it on your pan, but you guys know I like to mix things in the pan. It's easier for me, so you do you. That was about half a bag of cheese, and we're just gonna give this a quick little toss before we add our next ingredient, because that will just make this process that much smoother. But that chicken smells really, really good, and I think it's gonna go so great with all these other ingredients. Now, you can't use fresh broccoli, but I like the moisture that the frozen broccoli brings, so that's why I choose frozen. All right, now I'm gonna come in with my broccoli cheese soup, and we're gonna put that whole can in there. This is gonna add more moisture to this dish and some great flavor. We're gonna make sure to get all of that out of our can. Oh yeah, this smells pretty good too. Now, I would normally grab a cream of broccoli for my second can, but they didn't have any at the store today, so we're just doing 2 cans of the broccoli cheese, which I don't think that will hurt anybody because it is so good. So we're gonna empty out our 2 cans of our broccoli cheese right on top of our chicken, broccoli, cheese, and carrots. Oh yeah. Another mix. We are gonna season this up super quick. I have some onion powder. You can season this however you like, but I like onion powder. We're gonna do some garlic powder, and you could do fresh garlic too if that's what you prefer, but garlic powder is just as good. And we're not gonna do salt, but we are gonna do some pepper. There's plenty of salt in that broccoli cheese soup, so we don't need it for this one. All right, and I like a lot of pepper, so don't judge me. All right, now we're gonna give it its final mix, and we have everything you need for a one-pan dinner. We have our protein, our veggies, a little bit of carbs in there, and this is gonna be delicious. So make sure you get this fully mixed so that that broccoli soup is well combined with everything else. Flattening it down, because we do have one more thing we're gonna add, which this next part is optional, but not in my house because my family loves it. All right, and that is a pizza crust. And this is just the Pillsbury one. You can make your own homemade one or use whatever kind you like. I think Trader Joe's has a pretty good one too. But we're gonna pop this open. Make sure it gets out all in one piece. And then this is gonna be rolled right on top of our entire dish. Maybe not rolled on top, but we're gonna place it.
You could have.
Yes. Oh, and try to cover everything. So if you need to stretch, the sides out a little bit, that shouldn't be an issue because it is very flexible. If you want to cut back on the carbs, you can totally skip it. We are going to brush this with a little bit of melted butter because that makes everything better. And then we have one more thing we're going to add, and then this is ready for the oven, and it cooks super quick because that chicken is already pre-cooked. So we pretty much are just cooking that pizza crust and then heating everything up. Oh yeah, we're dousing it in this butter. You can use salted or unsalted. You could do an egg wash. You could do a milk wash, but butter is always my best friend in this scenario. All right, last thing, and this just kind of makes it look prettier. We're gonna do some freeze-dried oregano, just sprinkle right on top. Obviously this is optional, or you could do parsley or basil or whatever you think will taste good with this. This is just what I had, so that's why I'm choosing this. And I think this is perfect. Maybe a little bit too much right there. All right, my oven is set to 375, and this is gonna be in there for about 35 minutes. Oh my, this smells absolutely incredible.
Yum.
I cannot wait to dig in. We have our knife so we can cut that pizza crust. Oh, it's crispy. This is gonna be delicious. All right. Let's
see it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Talk about a beauty.
Yum.
Oh, this is gonna be so good. Definitely on the rotation for easy dinners. All right, we'll start with that bite.
Is it good?
That is delicious. Wow. You guys are gonna love this. 2 bags of our frozen sweet potatoes in our greased 9x13. Make sure it's in a flat layer. Now I have 2 apples that I sliced that we're gonna put right on top. I used a Honeycrisp apple, but you can use whatever kind of apple you like. And we're just distributing that right on top of our sweet potatoes for this super easy 1-pan fall dinner. It's gonna be so good, you guys. Beautiful. Now I have half of a large red onion that I cut into slivers, and we are adding that on top of our apples and our sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love a sweet, salty dish, and this is exactly what I've been craving. Just make sure all of our onions are separated and distributed. All right, I have my extra virgin olive oil, and we are gonna give this a nice drizzle on top of the entire 13x9. That should be perfect. We're gonna add a little bit of salt because, like I said, I want to be salty sweet, and we're just doing a quick little sprinkle of salt and then some black pepper right on top. Add as much or as little as you like. Beautiful. Now I found this perfect little poultry herb blend that we're gonna use today, and we're gonna use all of these, the rosemary, the sage, and the thyme. And we're gonna kind of just sprinkle them right on top of those veggies. And as it cooks, all that aroma will be released into our veggies to make a savory, delicious little dinner that anyone can make, and it's gonna taste like a professional chef made it with all of these delicious herbs, right babe?
Yeah, a professional chef did make it.
Thanks. All right, let's add a little bit more rosemary. I'm kind of separating these because these are really big ones, and we want to make sure it's evenly distributed. All right, that looks pretty good to me. What about you?
Oh my goodness, it looks so good.
All right, now we're gonna bring in our classic bratwurst. Now you can use a chicken sausage if you prefer, make it a little bit healthier, but I love bratwurst, especially in the fall. So we're gonna add our bratwurst right on top of everything, and it's just gonna cook so beautifully with those veggies. The timing of them are perfectly aligned. I do have another pack that I'm just gonna get one out of, and I'll freeze the rest for later.
I'll cook it up, it's fine.
Yeah, perfect. We're gonna finish this up with another drizzle of olive oil so that we can get like a little bit of a sear on our bratwurst. Oh yeah, you could also do an Italian sausage. The options are endless. Do another round of salt and pepper just for those worst. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, they're not the worst though.
All right, a little bit of pepper. Keep it simple because those herbs are gonna be the star. All right, my oven is set to 350, and this is gonna cook for 50 to 60 minutes. Oh my. This looks absolutely incredible. Those sausages have that sear that I was mentioning. You can tell those veggies are perfectly cooked. The frozen sweet potatoes brought a lot of moisture. Now you can cut up your sausages and have little sausage coins in this, but I'm just gonna serve myself a whole sausage. The herbs already did their job. You're not gonna wanna eat those. And then let's grab some veggies. Oh my goodness, all those sweet potatoes are nice and soft. They're just falling apart in my tongs. Oh, it smells good, huh?
Oh my gosh, it smells amazing.
I want this extra crispy tip. That looks like a beautiful bite. It's gonna be really hot though. That is delicious. Oh my goodness, the sweetness from the veggies, the saltiness from the bratwurst. This is a really good one, you guys. All right, that's 2 white onions that we sliced. All right, and that's our 6 thighs with the skin on. All right, now we're gonna season up our chicken thighs with some pepper, but you can season this however you like. I just think that pepper is necessary for majority of savory dishes, but especially for this easy 1-pan dinner. And then of course we're gonna come in with a little bit of salt, but if you're watching your sodium, you can skip the salt. But I really think that salt brings a great flavor to chicken, so I always have to add it. Now we have some garlic powder that we're gonna add, and we're gonna add a nice little sprinkle. But like I said, you can add whatever you want. I even think that like a ranch seasoning packet would be delicious with this, but I didn't have any, so we are just making a yummy little concoction here. I have some onion powder, and it might seem like a lot of onion and garlic flavors here, but that is the beauty of this dish. It is for our onion and garlic lovers. We're gonna finish this off with some freeze-dried rosemary, which I think goes beautiful with chicken and with onions. So we're just gonna do a nice little sprinkle of that. These are well-seasoned chicken, which is gonna bring so much flavor. It might seem like a lot, but it really is gonna taste really delicious and bring some great flavors to this dish. Beautiful. I told you it's a lot of garlic. We're gonna add a little bit of garlic on each one because I love some actual garlic in this dish. Get like a little squirt of our garlic right on each thigh. And I'm using the thighs, but you can use breasts. You can use whatever cut of chicken you like. And we are just flattening out that garlic right on top of that beautiful chicken skin, just like so. Oh, that garlic and onion smells amazing. And we're not done yet. We have our Parmesan garlic sauce. Now this is the secret ingredient. You have to get this Buffalo Wild Wings Parmesan garlic sauce. It is incredible, especially on chicken and especially with those onions. It literally is a game changer. And I think we're gonna try to use almost this whole entire bottle because it is the perfect amount for the amount of chicken that we're doing. Come back with that spatula and get those smothered in that sauce. This is gonna have so much flavor. It's gonna be tender, it's gonna be juicy, it's gonna be everything you want in a chicken dinner. But we're not done yet. I am gonna bring in my Parmesan cheese shredded. And this is really just gonna bring everything together. We're gonna do a nice sprinkle of our cheese right on top. Oh my, yum. All right, and this does need to be topped with some foil. We're gonna cook it for 30 minutes with the foil on, and then 30 minutes without the foil. So a total of 60 minutes in the oven at 350. Oh my, this smells absolutely incredible. You guys make sure to rotate it when you're cooking it so that it gets an even brownness, but oh, I mean, come on. Let's dig into this. Get some of those onions, chicken. Oh, this would be great with a side salad or some green beans. Let's cut into this.
You have it with an onion salad.
Oh yeah, that skin is gonna be beautiful. Oh, get a bite. It's too hot to get anything bigger than that.
Is it good?